Welcome to Receipt Module Training for Blount County Schools. Standard Receipting Guidelines. Money should be turned into the bookkeeper on a daily basis. Money should never be left in your classroom overnight. Money should be receipted to the person who turned it in. Receipts should never be written to yourself or an organization such as prom or junior class. Checks should never be cashed. If a check is written for more than the item, the total amount must be receipted and a refund issued by the bookkeeper. Never send money to the office by a student. The receipt module allows you to receipt money directly into the NextGen accounting software instead of writing a receipt. You will receive an email from Cindy Parker with a link to the website. After clicking on this link, it will take you to a login screen. At this point, you will want to save this to your favorites for easy access in the future. Your local school bookkeeper will provide you with a login and password. After logging in, you will notice your school name in the top left-hand corner. On the left-hand side, you will see Receipts. Make sure your screen appears as this. If it does not, please contact your local school bookkeeper. To start a new receipt, click on Receipts. The very first box is the parameter name. This box will always be LSA and your school code. If you do not know your school code, you may contact your local school bookkeeper. You may tab to the next field. The printed copies will always be 1. You can disregard the starting balance box. The station ID will always be your first initial and last name. Your password will be your 4-digit employee ID number. The payee ID will always be your name. Click the Sign In button. This screen takes you to the most recent receipts that you have entered. To start a new receipt, click in the top right hand corner the plus New button. On this screen, the very first box that's populated is the receipt date. You must never post date or backdate receipts. The payer ID field is the next field. This field is not required. However, in the future, I now may populate this with a student ID number. When tabbing over to the next field, the payer name will be the person that you received the funds from. When you tab to the cash box, let's enter a receipt that's for $30 from Mickey Mouse. On the right hand side of your screen, you'll notice that the tendered amount is the amount that you received. In the bottom of your screen are the revenue codes that your bookkeeper assigned to your login. If you do not see a revenue that you received money from, you must contact your bookkeeper. Let's receipt $30 for the cookie dough fundraiser. Simply click in the received amount box, key in the amount you received, and hit your tab button. It will automatically go over to the field description comment. You can leave this as the computer generated description, or sometimes your bookkeeper may ask you to enter a different comment. Scroll back to the top of your screen. If you are not happy with your receipt or the information is not correct, you can discard the whole thing at this time. If all the information is correct, you can hit the Save button. Your computer will build a report. At this time, if a report does not build, you will need to look in the address bar of your screen, and there will be a small red X that shows your pop-up blockers are on. At that point, you'll need to click the small red X, click on the Allow box, and then click the blue link. After this is done one time on your computer, Most times in the future, it will automatically generate a report. Print the report, which is your receipt to give to the individual who turned in the funds, and then you can close this box. Let's enter a receipt for a check you received. You can tab again from field to field. Let's get to the check tender box. We received $50 from Minnie Mouse, and it automatically builds a check number field when you key in a check tendered amount. This field is a required field. Let's receipt $50 with $20 go into donation account and $30 for a 4th grade activity. If your bookkeeper gives you a different description that she wants in this field, such as for a field trip, you may type it in. You'll notice on the right hand side of your screen that you receipted $50 and then you posted $50 to a revenue code. You must always have change due as 0. At the top of the screen, again, if you do not like the receipt or the information is incorrect, you can disregard, or you can hit the Save button. Again, it generates the receipt that you entered. You can print the receipt, close the box, and it takes you back to receipting again. If you are done entering your receipts, click the Receipt Recap button. At this point, you will need to count your cash and your checks and verify the amount on your screen is correct. If it is correct, print the recap. Again, it generates a report. This shows the 2 receipts that we entered. The first one was for $30 cash. The second one was for $50 in checks. You can print the report and then close the box again. At this point, you can close out your receipts. In the top right hand corner, click the Close Out button. Enter the amount that was in your drawer. I entered $50, which is incorrect, so it tells me that the difference is $30 and a pink box comes up telling me that it's incorrect. I will enter the correct amount of my cash and checks. The difference will show 0. A blue box will come up saying that it's equal and in balance, and you toggle this button to yes, that it is correct. In the top right hand corner, you will accept the Closeout button, and you're finished entering your receipts. At this point, you will click the Logout button. Your local school bookkeeper will provide you with a verification form. Complete this form with your receipting information and turn it in with your funds to the office.